When we visited our first country together outside the US, we thought travel was about seeing places. We realized travel was teaching us something much bigger. And after visiting 100 countries and 7 continents, we discovered the biggest lessons had very little to do with travel itself. There were lessons about people, about perspective, about happiness, and about the world we all share.
When we look back now, the destinations are still incredible, but the lessons are what stayed with us. So today we're sharing what visiting 100 countries taught us about the world. Not the bucket list attractions, but the things we never expected to learn.
When we started traveling, we thought it was about seeing places. After visiting 100 countries across 7 continents, we discovered it was really about perspective.
And today we're sharing our life lessons we learned along the way. Welcome to 100 Countries and Counting.
This may be the single biggest lesson we learned. Before we started traveling extensively, it was easy to focus on differences. Different languages, different customs, different foods, different traditions. But after visiting country after country, something became obvious. Parents everywhere worry about their children. Families want to spend time with one another. Many countries often have 3 generations living in the same home, supporting and caring for one another. Whether we're in Africa, Asia, Europe, South America, Australia, or even Antarctica with an international expedition team, the similarities were impossible to ignore.
Travel showed us what connects us, and that's a perspective we never would have gained sitting at home. Another lesson that surprised us was how much kindness exists in the world. We've had strangers help us navigate train stations and bus stops. Our first European train experience was in Italy, traveling from Livorno cruise port to Pisa. We found our platform number, but weren't completely sure we were in the right place because we didn't know which direction the train was coming from. A kind person approached us and asked if we needed help and asked us where we were going. Once we told him, he informed us we had to go downstairs and go over to the next platform to catch the train. We were very grateful since we would have missed our train and shortened our time in Pisa. Strangers also helped us translate menus, recommend restaurants, help solve travel problems, and sometimes simply just make us welcome in a place we never visited before. Those moments happened again and again.
And what struck me most of those people, they expected absolutely nothing in return. After nearly 100 countries, I've come to believe that kindness is far more common than we often think.
Travel completely changed our relationship with possessions. When you're living out of a suitcase for weeks at a time, you realize how little you actually need. The things that matter most aren't usually things at all. They're experiences. There are memories. There are moments.
Many of the souvenirs we bought are still in packages in the closet and will probably be donated when we downsize. But I remember whales surfacing beside our ship in Antarctica. I remember safari sightings in Africa. I remember penguins coming to check us out at the shore. I remember blue-footed boobies waiting to greet us as we arrive on their island. I remember conversations with people we met around the world. Experiences stay with you. Most purchases don't. When we think back on our favorite travel moments, many weren't famous attractions. There weren't landmarks. They weren't even on our itinerary. Sometimes there were conversations, or recommendations from a local, an unexpected wildlife sighting. Like the kangaroo we spotted casually standing on a golf course in Melbourne, Australia. It wasn't in any guidebook, and we still talk about it today. In the spontaneous detour, we pulled over just to see if we could spot koalas in the trees. Travel rewards curiosity.
And some of the moments you remember forever are the ones you never planned for at all.
After visiting 100 countries, we still feel like beginners. That's one of the most humbling things about travel. The more you see, the more you realize how much remains unseen. Some of our favorite places weren't famous at all. Some weren't even on our radar before we arrived. Travel constantly reminds us how much there is to learn.
And honestly, that's what keeps it exciting. There's always another destination, another culture, another experience waiting around the corner.
One thing we notice repeatedly is that happiness doesn't follow a single formula. We met wealthy people who seem unhappy. We met people living very simple lives who radiated joy. And what we often see was that happiness came from relationships, purpose, community, traditions, and meaningful connections.
Travel helped us realize there isn't one right way to live. Different cultures prioritize different things. And many of them are doing just fine without following the path we assume everyone should follow.
Some of our most powerful memories have nothing to do with cities. They're moments in nature. Standing in Antarctica, watching the whales surface nearby, seeing lions in the wild, standing beside massive waterfalls, looking across landscapes that make you feel incredibly small. And somehow, that's exactly what makes them so powerful.
Nature has a way of putting everything into perspective. No matter who you are or where you're from, those moments affect everyone the same everywhere.
This is a lesson that has become even more important over the years. Social media often shows perfect destinations, perfect weather, perfect photos, perfect moments. But real travel isn't like that. Flights get delayed, weather changes, plans fall apart, and sometimes that's when the best stories happen.
Some of our favorite travel memories came from things that didn't go according to plan. Reality is often richer than the highlight reel.
One lesson we didn't expect was how much travel would increase our gratitude. Seeing ways of life changes your perspective. You begin to appreciate things that once seemed ordinary, things you previously took for granted. Travel doesn't necessarily make you less appreciate your home. For us, it did the opposite. It made us appreciate home even more.
It also helped us recognize how fortunate we are in many ways of life. That's a lesson we carry with us every day.
When we first started traveling, visiting 100 countries felt impossible. It seemed like a dream so far away that it might never happen. Then one day we looked up and realized we'd done it. Yet the journey didn't feel finished.
There was still more to learn, more places to explore, more experiences to have, because travel isn't just about reaching a number. It's about staying curious.
So what did visiting 100 countries teach us about the world? That people are more alike than different, that kindness exists everywhere, that experiences matter more than possessions or anything we see on social media, that happiness comes in many different forms, that nature can put life into perspective, and that the world is both larger and more connected than we've ever imagined.
Most importantly, travel just didn't change the way we see the world. It changed the way we see ourselves. Thanks for joining us on this journey.
And we'd love to know your answer. What's the biggest lesson travel has taught you? Tell us in the comments below.
And if you enjoy cruises, safaris, wildlife adventures, and bucket list destinations, make sure you're subscribed.
We're Desiree.
And Michael.
And we're 100 countries and counting.